I'm Seth Bockley. I'm the Director of Creative Engagement at Sovereign Nature Initiative, and I'm the creative producer behind Tracing the Wild. Tracing the Wild is a series of portraits of real lions. I'm standing in front of Sintamei, a real lion. These are her tracks. It's called Tracing the Wild because we are building this artwork off of data provided by Kenya Wildlife Trust. The mission of this work is to create art inspired by, building on real data from real lions in order to honor their stories, bring out their lives, and show the pattern of human-lion conflict in the Maasai Mara. This project is a huge collaboration between artists from several continents, but it's rooted here in Kenya and here in Nairobi at Nairobi Design Week. These panels were created by the incredible Nigerian artist Chuma Anagbado in collaboration with a data architect named Daria Smakhtina, who helped to take the data about the lions and then make them into these beautiful lines that you see. And then Chuma hand-painted this portrait of Sintamei.
Hey, my name is Chuma. I'm a multidisciplinary artist working at the intersection of the physical and digital existence of things. I try to find value across both planes of existence, having realized that human beings, our existence is phygital, right? That word phygital, it's physical and digital. We spend time on the phone and we have meaningful interactions on the phone. So my work sits at that intersection and trying to make more value, create more value, have more essence around my work. Primarily, my work reimagines the culture, the African culture. It represents who we are. It brings the core, our values, our folklores, our meanings and our techniques into modern contemporary reality. Primarily, my work reimagines the culture, the African culture. It represents who we are. It brings the core, our values, our folklores, our meanings and our techniques into modern contemporary reality. And for this piece, which is behind me, what I basically did was to use data from the Maasai Mara, gotten from collared lions, to create this triptych that is a living art form, I would say, public art that is fractionally owned by just anybody that wants to support the work of Wildlife Foundation. If you can look at what we have here, you see the map of the Mara, the lion collar movement, and the human data. And essentially what this does is to bring more awareness to the plight of these lions, interrogating how we live with wildlife, how we live with nature. And that's what all conservation is all about. Friend.
Hi, my name is Dr. Irina Moke. I'm the Executive Director of Kenya Wildlife Trust. So we've been working with SNI to try and demonstrate the work we do in the Maasai Mara, and an outcome of that is this beautiful art piece. So what this shows is what our team in the Mara does on a day-to-day basis. We monitor predators, lions, cheetahs, and one of the really cool things we've been able to do is collar some lions to see how they use the landscape. So the 3 lions you see here were collared at different times in the Mara, and you can see how they've been walking around the landscape, dealing with the day-to-day lives, how they interact with people. And for me, one of the really interesting things that I've learned from people is the shock people have when they see that the lions move into some of the dotted areas that represent human settlements, and the fact that lions live and move very intimately in the landscape. And so what we're trying to show is that, in as much as lions are these charismatic creatures, we've got communities living and working with them on a day-to-day basis. So members of our team who are here spend their time in the Mara collecting the data, working with the communities, trying to mitigate any conflict that comes around. But then we also spend a lot of our time working with young people to educate them about the work we do. That's through the wildlife clubs of Kenya. So having them understand what the lions mean, not just for science, but for them as well.
As a lion ambassador, we act as a link between the Wildlife Trust and the community. So we track the lions inside the community, their movements, and we have to secure the lion as they walk about inside the community.
Hi, my name is Mercy Barno. I'm a sound engineer, music producer, musician, and occasional DJ. My role in this project was sound design, music producer, and engineer. I hope that people will be able to continue coming here and to continue learning about the importance of what KWT are doing, and be able to help as much as they can, and be able to also teach future generations the importance of our wildlife, and being able to take care of our wildlife, because at some point they could end up becoming extinct, and that's kind of scary in my opinion.
Hi everybody, my name is Naitiemu. I'm the festival lead at Nairobi Design. Today we're having our 8th edition of Nairobi Design Week, and the theme is It's What We Make It. How are we solving problems in tune with nature and culture? So we have Tracing the Wild project here, a partnership with Sovereign Nature Initiative and Kenya Wildlife Trust and other designers and artists from all over the world. And we're showcasing this project as a highlight to talk about human and wildlife conflicts and conflict mitigation with data about lion data collected from the Mara, and this data being represented in artistic form for easier interpretation. So having data like this is very interesting because a lot of times data comes in terms of numbers, and it's so maybe strange for most people to understand. But when you're looking at data visually and you're absorbing that, there's a great impact that comes, and there's a great connection to these topics that we're talking about.
Hi, I'm Antonia Kihara, and I'm at Nairobi Design Week. And I've had the privilege of experiencing the Sovereign Nature Project, which is about conserving lions in the Maasai Mara. I think it's really fascinating to see how art and technology combined can actually inspire people to take action for good. So there's a lot of conflict between the lions and the humans in the Mara, and just using art, I think just having watched everybody with their phones, kind of interacting with the art, just enables so many more people to get on board, and I think it's fantastic. Art and technology can change the world.